Welcome to Comment with me, Lauren Booth. This is Press TV's live show, giving you the chance to have your say on what's happening in the world. George Galloway can't be here tonight, so once again it's you and I having the big conversation. As George says, it's only a debate though if you join in, and if you disagree with me, so much the better. Now, I'm in London, but wherever you are, we want to hear from you. And we'll call you back. So don't worry about the phone bill. Call me now on +44 208 6014 555. If you prefer to email, send one now to comment@presstv.co.uk. Pick up the phone, send me an email. As always, there's plenty to talk about. In Libya, NATO continues to kill civilians, with suspicions growing by the day that crimes against humanity are being committed by both sides. The United States avoids this issue by turning attention to the proposed release of some estimated $30 billion in assets stashed away by one Muammar al-Gaddafi. This will help the Libyan people, NATO says. But then why use missiles with depleted uranium on them if that's your aim? Your thoughts? In Bahrain, a member of an opposition group was detained by Bahraini police, then died in hospital. So far, Bahraini authorities have arrested 47 medical professionals, whilst among 800 more people are detained in connection with the uprising against the increasingly desperate Al Khalifa royal family. No wonder they were too busy to come to Kate and Bill's wedding. And we must talk about the death or not of Osama bin Laden. The man who became America's perfect hate figure was allegedly killed this week in Pakistan. And what a mess the White House has made of the longed-for potential vote winner. First, we heard that bin Laden had used his wife as a human shield. Then army sources said there had been a firefight. Now we hear that the firefight was with an unarmed bin Laden. What now for the Pakistan government? Held in such contempt by the US regime that their leaders think nothing of carrying out assassinations there without even a courtesy call first. It's time for you to have your say, and I promise you I'll be having mine. And I should say now that when we're in conversation, any views that I express will not be those of Press TV, just my own. The show is not scripted, but it's broadcast live and it's all about your thoughts, your comments, so call me now. There's a great deal to talk about. Well, we should, of course, begin talking about the death or not of Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. In the last hour, one of Pakistan's military leaders has condemned the unauthorized incursion onto Pakistani soil. So that one's going to develop damage there again between American and Pakistan relations. Well, we can go now to our first caller, Fatima in Birmingham. Welcome, Fatima.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, right. Well, I've agreed to speak about my thoughts on Osama bin Laden and whether or not he's dead, and the way this has been basically mishandled by President Obama. I feel that we need closure on this by being shown the body, no matter how bad a state it's supposed to be in or not, as the case may be, whether or not we've been fooled, that's to be discovered. And until that's done, the feeling on the street is seething resentment. It's like a volcano that's sealed, ready to erupt. You know, on the streets, people are very, very angry.
Well, Fatima, what exactly are they angry about in Birmingham, where you live?
Not being told the truth. You know, we feel, actually, it's just an election ploy to get voted back in. I started to think a little bit differently today after I was shown better pictures of a woman who's got sort of a leg injury with his wife. And what got me was that the minute that this was released, lies were told that his wife was used as a human shield to make him look like a muppet and like a weak man. In other words, it's one-upmanship and about this men's ego thing, obviously Obama's ego. And you've got to look at the mentality of somebody that would let pictures be released that were fake of another person's dead body. I mean, I was sent Photoshop how they did it by somebody on Facebook, Spanish chap.
Yeah.
And it was the best story that I could get to sort of ease my mind about what really was going on.
OK, Fatima, thanks very much for sharing the anger on the streets there. I think a lot of people have seen the photoshopped fake photo supposedly showing Osama bin Laden shot in the face. And of course, the whole strange release of military sources saying that Osama bin Laden had cried like a baby, hidden behind his wife and used her as a human shield. What does that show us? I'll tell you what I think it shows us. That even after 10 years of incursions and massacres in the Middle East, the Americans know nothing whatever about Islam. Now, you don't have to like Osama bin Laden at all. You can loathe him. But one thing you can know for certain is that having lived his life as the way he chose to, he wouldn't have used a human shield. The problem with America saying that is, again, they lose credibility. I think we can go now to Mahmoud in Oman. Welcome, Mahmoud, to comment. Are you there, Mahmoud, in Oman?
Yes, I am talking. Good evening. Good to hear you and see you on the television.
Thanks very much. What would you like to comment on this evening, Mahmoud?
Well, I would like just add a few things on what Fatma just said regarding Osama bin Laden's death, whether he is dead or not. And I think the brutality of the Yanks is unbelievable and beyond anybody's expectation. I wonder if anybody in this part of the world would do the same thing to a Yank or a white skin, and what will be their reaction?
Can you, qualify that? I mean, and referring to Americans as Yanks isn't particularly welcome here. Let's just take the point that you're making.
All the Americans, pardon me, all the Americans.
OK, well, let's just talk a little bit about...
Anything happens?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up, Mahmoud. I'm losing your point there a little bit. I think what you're trying to say is that the violence of this attack can be seen as surprising. I think what's surprising isn't the violence of the attack, it's that American military sources always like to take the moral upper hand. The war against terror was to protect people. The attack on Osama bin Laden was to end terror. And yet we see these brutal scenes, and a break again with protocol, international protocol. Imagine not calling the leader of the other country to say that you've got operatives in the region and you're going to carry out an attack of this kind. Surely that's damaging. Surely that's not professional. What do you think? We're going now to Kamal in Germany. Welcome, Kamal, to comment.
Good evening.
Good evening. What would you like to talk about this evening?
I want to talk about the situation between Tunisian, Libyan, Egypt as a cornerstone of the direction to Al-Quds,
Okay.
Al-Aqsa Mosque, and so weiter. The first thing, the counter-revolution. First, in Tunisian, we hear it. I talk with the Revolutions Committee in Tunisian 3 or 4 weeks ago. They have to take care about this counter-revolution, and we hear it now that from the prison and 4 prisons in Tunisian, and the situation is not stable there. The problem, what I say, it's the capital and the Zionism together don't want that the revolution from Tunisian to go to Egypt. They want to make obstruction in Libya, and what we know that the NATO in Europe not have. It was wonderful this news to hear not have aeroplanes to attack Gaddafi army. It was something to laugh, and about the revolution in Egypt too.
So let me just go back to Tunisia a moment, because I think you've raised an interesting point there, because the Al-Nahdha party held meetings just, I think, last week, and there were counter demonstrations, people throwing bottles, attacks on members of the Al-Nahdha party. This is the Islamic party there, welcome back into the political fold after 30 years. So it's an unstable time in Tunisia, I think is the point you're making.
I think the situation, the young revolution in Tunis, the young people know this situation. They are very intelligent people. They know what's going on, and they have to take care about the revolution. The revolution must take place, and they need time. And in this time, they must take care. The eye must completely open. As in Egypt too, I told them I was for 1 week ago, for 2 weeks in Egypt. I was in the Red Sea area and in Cairo, and I told them I met some from this revolution, nice people there, and I told them they have to take care the Zionism.
Okay, thanks very much. I think we get your point there, that more work needs to be done, more pressure to keep the military rulers out of these places that have had a very, very rapid change of government.